Well, hello, and welcome back, everybody. I'm AJ O'Neill, and this is just going to be a chill live code at work. There's nothing major going on right now. I'm just working on some work stuff and wanted to put myself in front of the camera for a little bit of extra focus and motivation, because it does help me. And we got two do's, so if one doesn't do it, the other will do it. Hey, what's up, Mohammed? How's it going? Welcome. And yeah, so we're gonna just go ahead and actually, I got one little rant before we get started. So I bought an obscene amount of money's worth of USB hubs and stuff just recently because I was having problems with particularly my microphone and occasionally some other things, and I thought that it must be that the USB hub is crapping out because there was also another problem with something, so it seemed like, oh, it's the USB hub. Well, today I changed the cable that has been attached to the microphone for a few years. That was my problem. It was the 50-cent cable. It wasn't the $100 USB hub. But it's okay. USB hubs for everybody. Okay. So that out of the way, let's go ahead and pop a top. I'm not sure. Do we want to go sugar free or corn syrup free? I think I'm just going to go with the all natural this time. Go with the corn syrup. All right. There we go. Opened up a can of Focus. It's good, you know. I'll put the other one in the cooler real quick. There we go, a little single, the can cool stir or whatever we want to call it. And I will take out this cable that was causing me trouble, apparently. And we'll go ahead and get on the move. So the first thing that I'm going to do is to do some node code. And it's not going to be that much node code. Well, it's a deployment thing. It's not really even that I'm doing code. I'm just doing a deployment thing. So let me get on over here. So I think we have this thing that we call the admin portal. It's the back end product. Or not product, but the back-end interface for people that are actually part of the company to get into account details and stuff and be able to do customer support and things like that. And we still have it on an old server environment, and so I just want to migrate it over to the new one. And I had a couple of problems. One of which is how much RAM was allowed to be used. So I need to find if I actually have this. I don't know where this is. I'm gonna have to find this on my local computer. All right, I'll put this up here too. Come on, bring it over. You can do it. There we go. And then I'll just pull that back a touch and down a touch so that I can switch between these as needed. So I can go bloop and then bloop. Okay. So we need to go into projects. I don't think this is actually where I wanted to be. Let me see. Let me make sure. Let me get pull here. All right. Let me check out main. Let me go ahead and pull main. Get checkout, ref, no payload. There, we had a payload wrapper on something, that's why it's get pull. Alright, already up to date, great. So I'm just gonna check out main, and I'm just trying to build it. So we gotta do an npm install, but we have to do, what is it, legacy peer deps. And this could take quite some time. I could, maybe go get a drink. We'll just have a drink while we wait. Hey! That was much better than I expected. And look, only 130 vulnerabilities. Oh, 150. There's the number over there. I was just doing quick math and thinking, okay, that's those two are over 100 by a little bit, plus that 130. Yeah, okay. But that's not what we need to worry about today. Let me go ahead and check what version we're on. All right. And let's see if we can run the build. And there's all of this. Interesting. So there's this project. This reminds me of this project. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it's a node-based scripting language. All right, and this is what I had feared. This is not going to build. Can't resolve config. ... config. So we need a source config. Okay, I need to look at something off screen. Okay, what else? So this, it can't resolve config.js from components. It's components. I think that's probably a folder. So let's take a look here. There's components. And then here's source. And so config. There is a config here. I don't know if this is what we need. I may not be able to do this. I'm gonna have to message somebody real quick. I can't get into the admin server. Let's see, I may have removed my key the other day, or maybe trying to log in with the wrong username. Let's see, what do we got here? I can do oh, I see the question there. What tech stack do you use usually? And I will answer that in just a second. Could you log in and run this for me to add me back and tell me the username? Okay, so I need a config that I don't have, and I'm going to need to go into the production site to get it. I can't get into the production site because this is my personal computer, and I'd removed my personal computer from the ability to log into the production site because, you know, that's a good idea to not have personal computers have access to the production site. But in this case, there's actually a development resource on the production site that I need to get access to. So I'll just get myself logged in, get access to the thing I need access to, and then maybe lock myself back out. The tech stack that I use the most is Node. I mostly work on APIs. The tech stack that I like the most is Go, and the tech stack that I'm most excited about is Zig. So Go has had the best overall everything. It's hard to beat Go. So the software engineering course that I'm working on, we're going to start with POSIX scripting, and then I think that we're going to talk about golang, and then considering I'm working on a front-end language that doesn't need transpilation. So it'll run in browsers as is, but it is not JavaScript. And I know that sounds weird. It is syntactically compatible, but not semantically compatible with JavaScript. You could not run a JavaScript program with this language. And people who are most familiar with JavaScript may be a little bit weirded out by this language because it uses syntax in JavaScript that they are not familiar with, such as void. Let's see. Okay, so while I'm waiting on that, I think I will go on to the next issue, because I don't... Well, I could try copying... Well, let's just see. Let's just see what this... Oh, there's a sample config. Look at that. Sample config. Huh. Let me take a look at that and see what that sample config looks like. I'm going to do that on the other screen, just in case it has actual, real secrets in it. And it looks like it doesn't. Hopefully that music's not too loud. This is not, I selected the chill playlist. This doesn't feel chill. We're going to go to the end of that one. Okay, I'm looking for another sample config file that has the values that I want. Okay, I think that the good news is we actually can open up the sample config here, and I would have named this config.example, not example.config, or I don't know what I've named it, because it's nice to have it's config, and then there's config.what type, the example config. Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm AJ. Welcome to the channel. If you're a returning member, welcome back. All right, just double checking. Yep, all of this looks fine. Okay. So I'm going to say we're going to run source and config. And I'm just going to paste in here, and we're going to do... I need to go update a DNS record. I'm going to do that off screen. I don't know whether this is view 2 or view 3. I'm assuming it's probably view 3, but how do I find out? I'm not actually concerned with the view aspect. I'm concerned with the deployment aspect at the moment. So that's why I don't know. Because I just get so frustrated by how confusing modern web development is. Modern. It's like we're back to the Stone Age. Okay. Here's a trend that I've noticed recently that I really don't like. Hiding the login button for returning people. I don't get it. I don't know how that's profitable. I don't know how that works. I don't know why anybody would want to do that. Let's see. Humbug. Yeah, a couple of rants that I got going on here. So the two-factor authentication bit, it's gone too far. Because, and I've mentioned this before, but it's just happening more and more often. I want to log into something, and it wants me to log in again, and it wants to send an authentication code to email. Then I got to log in again to the email, and that wants an authentication code from an authenticator app, and I got to get into that, and there's just so many layers and layers, and I don't think it makes it any more difficult for somebody to hack the accounts. It just makes it more difficult to get logged in every day. That's when we fail. Hey! Shopify CEO would say bet all money on Remix. Is it the CEO or the CTO that would do that? Fifth time's the charm. I'm logged in. I know you still can't see what I'm doing, but I'm logging in to a DNS provider to get the DNS updated. Oh, and now, oh! And wouldn't you know, I need a two-factor there as well. We need a single sign-on for two-factor. You know, just do all the two factors at once. Just let me enter in all 5 factors at the same time, just on one page. I don't have to do the loop-de-loop-de-loop-de-loop. So I think when it gets to the point where security is annoying you, the security is bad, and it needs to be changed. Because if the security is annoying you, then it's annoying other people, and they're less vigilant than you are, which means that they're going to break the security model. All right, if I don't have any problems with this mic today, after having changed the USB cable, then y'all will have to check out my DIY Tech Diagnostics channel to find out what happens. But I will be able to diagnose the problem with this cable. I will be able to tell you exactly why it's been finicky. And you will agree. You will, even no matter what your level of technical understanding is, when you see the video on it, you'll understand. I haven't done DIY tech diagnostics in a while. My last video on that channel was probably more than a year ago. Hold on. Alright, let's go there. Go there. Seriously? What's going on? Oh, oh. What? Oh, and it's in a loop here. Okay. Alright, oh. What? What have I done to myself? Hold on a second. 1 second. Twice over, so. Eight times as long as what you see here, so it's over a foot. So I think it's something like 10 or 12 feet long. All right, now we're back. Oh, look. And now I'm logged in, finally. Okay, I need to go to this one. What all do I need to go to? Okay, but my audio's still on. All right, it did it again anyway. So maybe I won't throw away that cable after all. Maybe it's just too long and I'll put it in a place. Maybe I was right to buy the USB hubs. Or maybe it's the mic. Maybe I need to buy a new mic. Maybe this one's just gotten old and it cuts off for a brief second now and then, every now and then. I've had it for several years, so we could say it's, it's getting long in the tooth. Okay. I want to add a new record. Wait, where'd my music go? Uh-oh. Is the internet still going? They need to send a text to your phone too. Probably. Hold on. Uh-oh. Are we still online? Chat, can you hear me? Okay. Why is the music gone? Okay, we got some music back. Thanks, chat. Iconic, I've missed you. I've missed reading your name in particular. All right. Music may not last. All right. So how's everybody doing today? And is there anything that you are interested in learning? What are you learning right now? What are you doing right now? What are you learning right now? The music's a little wonkadonk. Oh, wait. You don't hear the background music. Okay. Now you can hear the music again. Yeah, this is so weird. Why am I getting the weird music? I'm going to try to go back one more time to the other one. Okay, now this music's back on. This was the chill music. Oh, dang it. Hold on. There we go. Bum, 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 bum. All right, so base URL is going to be staging new admin. Oh, wait. Let's see. Hold on. I gotta text somebody. I need to text somebody. Okay. Alright, so that should be done. Base URL, client front end, those two were no different. Or they are different. Dang it. Ah! Let me read the README on this. Where'd the README go? Okay, so we run build, we install, we run build. We SSH into it. Config. Yeah, okay, I need to update the documentation on this because this is not sufficient for me to understand from the sample what the URLs actually are. I should probably put what they are for a particular environment. All right. Okay, so I think these need to be API URLs. I don't know why there's base versus front end. Okay, I'm checking chat again. Even over the ocean, I can still hear you. Oh, Johannes. My heart, my beating heart. I usually lurk, but been busy. I'm trying to learn Rust and Tori. Hey! That's exciting. That's exciting. I am very, very interested to see some Tori apps. So, keep me informed on how that goes, Iconic. Mohammed, learning Node and Angular. So, why are you learning Angular now? Because Angular has almost entirely been superseded by Vue. It seems. And that's not a criticism of Angular. I think that Vue has become just as complicated as Angular ever was. More or less. Is Mike's back now? Okay. So I'm still having the same problem. All right. So that USB cable gets to live another day. I am replacing the USB hub. I don't regret spending the obscene amount of money that I'm paying to replace my USB hub. You know, USB hubs used to be able to pick them up for $15. Now they're $100. You know, the dock for the computer, the Thunderbolt dock, is new. It's almost $300. Thankfully, I was able to grab one used. Fingers crossed, it's okay. All right, but now we've got Mike again, and I'll try to keep an eye on this for when the mic goes out. And if replacing the USB hub doesn't work, then I will replace the mic. What do you do? All right. So I'm going to go ahead and run build on this. All right, that might take a while. I'll go ahead and run what it says here. Legacy peer dependencies. Is it going to tell me to use They gave me this before, but the fix was to do legacy peer dependencies. Oh, legacy peer depths. There we go. That makes sense. Weird music. Junior dev and Angular is being used mostly by senior developers in my company. Okay, that makes sense. Because they've been there for a while, and that's what was popular when they probably joined. Angular has a lot of good patterns. There was some things about Angular that I didn't like, but I would take Angular over React because it's a lot easier to write good code in Angular than it is to write good code in React. And by good code, I mean clean architecture, solid principles, yada yada. Yeah, well, it's going to feel better than Electron because my understanding is that Tari uses the built-in browser rather than using Chrome. So you're not bundling Chrome. You're using the web view of the operating system. And so on Windows, that's Chrome. And on Apple, that's WebKit. And on Linux, that's Chrome. Or Chromium. And on Windows, it's Chromium via Edge. I wonder if we can fix any of these. Legacy peer depths. All right, let's see what happens. See if I can get in or get this thing copied over. Okay. It would be nice if it said where it was built to. But I can probably just rsync over this whole folder to... Let's see. What do I call it? Staging new... And then here, the name of the folder is admin staging. And then if I'm not mistaken, what I'm going to need to do is just update my caddy config over here. So we're going to have a sites enabled. I'm going to have a probably, whoops, put a staging new.admin like that. And I'm just going to need to check this elsewhere to make sure that it doesn't have a certain key in it. Because I think that we moved the key to the environment variable, but there was a point at which we had a key in the caddy file because we were doing it wrong. And that was my mistake. I take direct responsibility. Okay, good. So nothing in here. Alright, log should be standard. This is new admin. Okay, and this does use... Wait, this does use the TLS? I thought I was just looking at it over here and it didn't use the TLS. What? It makes sense that it should. Huh. It's weird because I sworn I just copied this. Anyway. Okay. I think I've got a simpler way to handle this since I did this. Oh, right. We don't want to gzip for that. There's a certain API we work with. Their accept headers apparently identify that they can accept gzip, but then they actually can't. So they're sending out headers saying, "Hey, encode this with gzip if you can." And then when we respond back with gzip, they freak out. Okay. Oh, sorry. Let me get caught up here. When you use the staging server for dev, then you don't also build the front end on the server? Well, the problem is that the Vue app has so many dependencies and so many CSS widgemadoodles and so many things that it can't be built on the server. It has to be built on a development machine that has 8 gigs of RAM. Because this is the state of modern front-end development. We want to deploy a file that's, 100 kilobytes, and we need 8 gigs of RAM to figure out how to build that file. Modern web development. This is fine. So yeah, literally we can't build it on the staging server. We have a separate build server that we use, but the build server doesn't deploy this particular tool because this particular tool has been left untended to, and so it's still, the server that runs this is still on node 12. So this is part of an effort to get that moved over. I'm going to answer this other one first and then come back to Muhammad. Did you get the job you applied for live? So that interview did not go well on multiple fronts. The code, I think the code that I created, I don't think it was ever looked at. I think that they fed it into an automated process that was totally pass-fail. Because and the person who was interviewing me for the live interview, the real interview, the in-person interview, I don't think they had seen that code at all, because I asked them specifically what he thought, and he said, "I don't know, I looked at 50 of these today." Just, none of them stood out to you? None of them were, particularly good? So that was kind of sad, and I thought it was going to be a pair programming interview, but instead it was just another live code session. And I didn't understand the problem. When he explained it, I understood it exactly the opposite way. And then I was just kind of stumbling over some stuff, just like I was when I did it live, where I was thinking, okay, wait, how do we do this in Go again? So it rightly came off as though I'm not an expert in Go, but their process was very, very streamlined, and that probably makes sense for what they're trying to accomplish. And so there wasn't a lot of personality in it, or as far as I could tell, they didn't review any of the projects that I had included on my resume. It was kind of, pass fail on what you submit for the code, and then pass fail on the pair programming that wasn't really pair programming. At the point that I used the wrong type of timer, and he specifically pointed out that I was using the wrong type of timer, and at that point I knew that I'd failed, because I thought, oh, okay. He's expecting me to do it a very particular way, and I'm not doing it the way that he's expecting me to do it, so I'm out. So, that's all right, though. As far as, is it true that if you get to know the concepts of one JavaScript framework, then you can adapt the rest of these as easily as there are not much differences as the base language is the same? No, this is not true at all. It is true that once you have learned one programming language, that you can take concepts between programming languages. The problem with JavaScript is that every framework has its own programming language, and they kind of fight each other on the paradigms, right? So the paradigm is React is exactly opposite of the paradigm of Vue. The React paradigm is the PHP paradigm. Write a template language and have the template language have an embedded programming language. And the concept of, say, Vue is exactly the opposite, which is write a programming, or use the programming language and have a small, tiny template language that can do basic logic on templates. So it's a complete inversion. Now, if you were going to look between, say, React and Preact, that would be true. Or if you're going to go between, say, Vue and Angular, that would be true. If you were looking at something like Svelte or Arrow, then you might kind of get a nice middle ground where you learn some basic principles that could apply kind of either way. But when you're in a framework that is extremely, extremely opinionated like React, you are not going to learn good design patterns. Even if you followed the way that React says that you should do it, which I don't think I've met a person yet who does, you still would be learning basically backwards design patterns. If you were looking at Vue, I would say is pretty... Vue and I think Svelte is the other one. They're pretty middle of the road in terms of they use fairly normal patterns that are pretty easily to adapt to other paradigms. Now, somebody who's a React developer can comment in the comments and, say that that's a yay or a nay. Where do I work? I work for 2 organizations right now. One of them is called Dash Incubator, and the other is called Savvy Legal. Okay, so... And I do a little bit of Node and a little bit of Go for both. So right now I'm just working on deploying this thing. I don't think we actually have to handle the API path. We don't have to handle well-known. I'm actually going to get rid of all of this. We don't need any of it for this deployment. Let's see. Do we need to do the try files? I need to bring back... I have on webinstall.dev caddy cheat sheet. Whoops. And I think that this has been updated now. So we'll take a look. Handle path, handle serve static files, handle. So by the way, if you want, I would recommend never using the built-in web server for any of your stuff, except that a lot of it is going to require it. Caddy is so easy to use. It makes it so easy to get set up that it just doesn't make sense to use an Express server in development. You should just use HTTPS and use a real domain. Caddy and DuckDNS, good way to go. Eventually, I'll have some streamlined content on for that. Hey, wait, didn't I just copy this? I get so used to the terminal just automatically copying when I select text. What in the letter L? Okay, I absolutely just copy. Okay, I've absolutely copied. Okay, there we go. I don't know why it wasn't pasting when I did Command V. All right, so what do we need here? Dist. So we're going to go to, I need to figure out what the name of that folder was again. Let me go back to that. Admin staging 1. That's what this folder is. And I don't know, is it dist? Is it build? Build looks like build tools. Dist looks like the build. All right, standard logging. By the way, I don't know, did I put this in here? X robots? I need to put this in the cheat sheet. I'm going to go check the issues and see if I already have an issue open to put this in the cheat sheet. I know I've got a pull request here. Caddy, a few more updates. So I'd fixed a typo. I'd updated the section. So one thing I need to add. You want to distinguish your development site from your non-development site. So I'm going to put this, I'm going to add this to the cheat sheet next time I'm in there. Don't get the dev site flagged by browser danger block lists as spam. Oops. So if you run your development site out in the wild as a copy, mostly a copy of your production site, you can run into this problem where either your production or your development site could get flagged as the browser as a malicious site, and then you get the big red warning, you can't visit this site, yada yada. So one thing that you can do to get around that is to make sure that in your development sites have this particular header. I'll give you a link to this issue too so you can see it. So here's no index on dev sites. There we go. So you can put this link rel canonical to the production site, and this will let search engines know not to index this site, or rather not index this site, but that this site is not the canonical site, and that the other site should be indexed instead. And then xrobots tag no index tells the search engine, not only should you index the other site instead, but you should also not index this site. I know that sounds like it's the same thing, but it's different. One is saying you should prefer to index that site. The other says do not index this site. And the Google bot is going to respect that. A lot of other bots are not. So it's completely voluntary to respect it or not respect it. Why do I use the Brave browser? Is there any particular reason? Yeah, it's better. That's not helpful. It's faster. It is more up to date. So Google is keeping Chrome behind because Google makes a lot of revenue off of ads. And so as of a few years ago, every other browser had updated their cookie policy and storage policies, et cetera, to work more or less the same with the same type of third-party policies. Chrome is the only browser that is not updated. So if you test stuff on Chrome and there's any sort of cross-origin or third-party cookie or any of that to any of your app, if you test it on Chrome, you'll think that it works, but then it won't work for iPhone. It won't work. I don't know if Android browser is updated, because apparently they're still doing Android browser as a separate browser. It just got a new release last month or something. It won't work on Firefox and it won't work on Safari. So if you want to be able to test with Brave is a better browser for testing websites because it represents a more strict environment. Also, Brave is blocking ads. So if any of your website breaks because you've got analytics or something that are hooked into your system in a way that when the analytics throws an exception, the whole system fails, you'll be able to catch that with Brave and, make sure that Stripe or Facebook aren't breaking your entire page because of not being able to continuously send off every mouse event that the person makes. There we go again with the verbal stutters, the and the Ugh. Gonna have to get better at those again. Not do them no more. And beyond that, the thing that I like maybe the most about it is the password sync, because the password sync is encrypted to me. So I can use my password sync passphrase and I can put it on any other computer and everything comes back the way that it was, but none of it is stored in a way that is accessible to anyone else. So having a password manager that's actually encrypted, that I believe, that I personally, from my understanding of how the technology works, I actually believe that Brave's password manager is actually encrypted, that people actually can't get my data. So that's nice. We always have basic auth in front of all dev sites. Yep, that's a good one. Microsoft Edge is the best browser. Microsoft Edge also, let's see, do they implement the cookie policies or not? I don't know. I don't know if Microsoft Edge implements them or not, but Microsoft Edge is just Chromium. But they take out the Google Analytics and replace them with Microsoft Analytics. But it is, Microsoft Edge is Chromium. It is not, Microsoft does not have their own browser anymore. Okay. Oh, and a quick reminder, if you like what you like, if you're enjoying this conversation, I enjoy it too. Consider like, sub, follow if you want to. All right. I'm going to get over here and continue on. Oh, system control, restart. Caddy. Alright, weird music again. This is not chill. This is literally the tag for this is chill. These are not chill. They're very... Okay. Huh. Okay, let me make sure that this DNS is propagated. I'm going to take out the Cloudflare on this one because it actually shouldn't need it. I'm trying to think, why did we need the Cloudflare? Let me just comment this out this way. Hey! Hey! Thanks, Mad Mike. Welcome to the clan. Feel free to join the secret Discord. There's not a whole lot of activity that goes on in there. There's probably 4 or 5 of us that exchange messages back and forth from time to time, but it's a pretty lame Discord. I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, join. Yes, Brave uses Chromium, but Brave is advancing the browser. So Brave is continuing to add new features that are in line with current web standards. Whereas Google, they had an agreement that they were supposed to, by some date, update the browser, you know, as part of the Worldwide Browser Consortium, something. They were supposed to have switched over to the new cookie policy, but they won't. And it makes sense that they won't, because pretty soon here, Google's going to start to hemorrhage, because apps have taken over the web in terms of ad space, and things, LLMs, such as ChatGPT, are going to take over the search space, because search is dominated by bots, because ads and SEO, so search has basically become useless. If you want to find out real information, you either have to ask ChatGPT or ask Reddit, you know? So sooner or later, Google's going to face the music on that one. I really do think it will, because the world is shifting yet again, and you know, as a developer, you might Google stuff pretty regularly, but I don't know that other people are. All right, login email. Let me see if I can figure out what the login email is for this. I'm going to double check something. Holy shoot, dang. Okay, we actually have a... We have a problem. I need to message somebody real quick. I'll be back just a minute. I'm going to put up my timer. I'm going to give myself a good minute here. If I can. All right, let's see. Okay. So I knew this was going to bite us in the butt at some point. All right, we can get rid of that that timer. Okay, so there's this account that we've used for development, and that account is not hold on. There's an account that we've used for development. We actually okay. So basically I need to make a detour and I need to remove some admin accounts from the database. Okay. Sorry, I gotta look. I'll get back to the chat in just a second. I gotta look something up over here. And there's a lot of security vulnerabilities that I've plugged, probably one or two that I've caused. But this is a security issue, and I need to fix it right away. Yeah. Okay. Let's go ahead and promote. Let me see. The individual access and remove the dev access. Let me think. Thankfully, nobody can get access to any customer data through this path, but there's a certain action in dev, which I will not mention at this time, that if you're logged in with a dev account, you can have an effect on production. So it's not something where we would be, you could gain access to production data, but you could push bad data into production. Basically, we have a way to take some test data and to push it into production, and that could be done in a way that causes problems. Let's see. So what am I looking for here? Nope, that's not what I want. Okay, I'm going to go through here. I need to go fix that. See. Admin user. False. Huh, that's weird. I don't know what that means. Okay, hold on. All right, I'll catch up on chat here real quick. Yeah, so that's another thing. Brave Search. So I've found Brave Search to be better than Google as of late. So I tried DuckDuckGo for a while, but I'd still end up going back to Google for this and that. Brave Search I have found to be better than Google. I am typically getting better results than Google. So it's not like, well, I'm a cool kid with privacy. I'm using DuckDuckGo, but my search results, Bing. I actually am getting the privacy as well as getting better search results. And so one of the things that they do is they prioritize Reddit, as you may have noticed when I'm searching things. When do you usually stream? Do I have a particular schedule for it? No, when it comes to schedules, I am the master of not having a schedule. If you were to look at my pattern of behavior and do a statistical analysis, it would fail. Dang it, I said again. Where are these coming from? Why? It's because I've been hanging out with Jojo Bite. He has a lot of verbal stutters. I'm going to blame it on him. That may not be the case. It may be something else. But I got so good at not doing ums and ahs and ehs and all of that. And then I reverted. Ugh! But yeah, I don't have a schedule. It is highly likely that I will stream several evenings at a time when no one on Earth is awake. So during the time when only people that are in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean are awake, that's the best time to catch me stream of any time. But this year I will be streaming a lot more during the day. What? Blazer or Razor pages? I don't even know what that means. Is that safe to search? I don't know what this means. I have no idea what this is. I've never heard of this. You're introducing this to me. Okay. But I need to go fix this. Okay. Okay, so that vulnerability, I was going to fix it, but then it didn't let me fix it. I need to, hold on, let me get in here. Select star from users where admin user is 1. What the letter L? Okay, there it goes. Okay, let's see. Select email. Ah, crap. I just learned how to do this the other day. How do we select without the header? I'm going to search for this real quick. MySQL. I don't prefer MySQL. It's just what we have. Legacy code. Hide header info. I wish they would use the cookies to remember my cookie settings. That's the number one thing that I would really, really like cookies to be used for, is remembering cookie settings. If they only did that, they would not fail. Every time I go to Stack Overflow, would you like to accept cookies? Yes. Okay, great. We won't. We'll just forget next time. Okay, it's silent. That's the option. Let's see. Keep. Delete. So I'm in a message over here, and I'm looking at which of these addresses should keep admin rights and which ones should not. Let's see. Okay, there's the list. Okay. All right, good. Well, that was time well spent, as it turns out. It's C# for developing web pages. Okay. Oh, that makes sense. C#, Blazor, Razor. I get it. Hey, I got a thumbs up on this. Great. I was able to answer this question? I don't know the answer to that question. Oh. Here's a little pro tip for you. If you want to know Express app versus router. I've talked about this in a couple of my videos that are the educational videos on Beyond Code. But this is one of the most important things that you can know about Express. You should mostly be using routers, and mostly async router. Okay, several of these accounts would still need access. Sure, let's just make sure it's people who are with us and signing in with their own account, not a generic account. That helps with auditing too. All right, cool. We're in agreement. All right. Okay, that's good. That's that problem's taken care of. Okay, let me get back here. So now, problem is, one of the reasons I've been logging in with the dev account on this, because this copy is connected to the real one. So I'm setting up a new front-end copy, but it's connecting to the real back-end. And I can never remember what my password is. I actually set this thing up to have an email sign-in flow, but that doesn't work on this front-end. This front-end only supports the password sign-in flow. So I'm just going to go reset my password because I don't know what it is. I'm going to go to the main site and reset my password on the main dev site. All right, reset password. Request reset link. Okay, great. Let me go check my emails. I think I got a lot closer or something. Hold on. Let's move this a little bit like that. There we go. Wait, why is... This is weird. Oh! Hold on. I know what's throwing me off. Okay, we've got it back now. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah, this is... I'm hoping that the new USB hub solves it. If not, then I will be buying a new mic. It's really, really obnoxious that it cuts out all the time. And it's becoming... It seems like it's becoming more and more frequent that it's doing that. Okay, so we're going to refresh this. Blah, 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 blah. So we can look at the network tab. Okay. Ah, all right. So good. So we figured out the problem mostly. Except I still had the wrong URL. Doi. Alright, so we'll build this again. And we'll sync it again. I'm going to just skip this track as well, I think. Or maybe not. Yeah, this is not chill. This is like... I think we could call this house. We can't call this chill. All right. Blah. Okay, do me a favor. Always put form fields in a form, and always have the event handler on form submit, not just the submit button, because I should be able to hit enter and this should work. Alrighty. I am never going to save this password in this particular browser. Okay, cool. I'm in here. So what I think this means, if I'm not mistaken, okay. Let's see what we got. It's brokenated, but why? Why is you brokenated? Huh. Ah. Does this not have the updates that we thought that it had? Okay, so due to this deployment process, I am not going to get the Go code right now. I'm still probably going to be doing this for maybe another hour. But I think, let's see, can I bring this back? So there are a number of routes that were moved. And I need to double check and see what is deployed on staging right now. Git checkout staging. Git checkout main. Git branch -d staging. Git checkout staging. Git pull. Okay. Git checkout, final grouping, git pull. Git checkout staging. Okay, git cherry -v. Oh, sorry, I could do this over here. I don't need to do this in a private window. Let me bring it over here. So I'm asking git cherry -v main. Group the routes. That's all good. So how about final grouping? Okay, these are different. Okay, so here it's showing minus. These are duplicates. So plus is for stuff that's new, and then this one, the minus, I think it's duplicates. Because these commits are the same, but this branch has been rebased differently. Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, then... Okay, let's just make sure... touch, junk, blah, 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 blah. So I've got this little... I should actually... I should make that an alias. Watch me do it. Watch me. Watch me do it. Aliasman. Git force... let's see, git... What should we call this? Git junk push. There we go. So this little snippet here, which I've now aliased as git junk push, this will add a file called junk, and then it will force push it. Oh, it won't force push it because it doesn't need to. It will push it, and then it will reset one, and then it will force push. So, did the mic didn't mute again, did it? No, okay, good. So what this will do, and I'll just give this to you. This is my gift. My gift to everybody today. Whoops. You can put this in your alias config. So first of all, if you're not using aliases, check out webinstall.dev/aliasmen. And then, well, more specifically, aliasman git junk push. Boom, there we go. There's how you add that alias for yourself. This will just force a deploy in case the deploy happened and something went wrong with the deploy the last time and it didn't deploy as expected. I'm going to go check the status page real quick. And let me check to see the last staging deploy. Migration is corrupt. Okay, so that's what happened. So staging didn't redeploy, and dang it, we've had this problem so many times recently. And I've fixed this, I think this will be the third time I fixed this. And I don't know, I probably haven't communicated it to the team. Hey, don't, clear out your local version of staging and don't push your version of staging anymore. Okay, let me bring this over here. Okay, so I'm going to go back to repositories here. We're going to go to server. We're going to go to pull requests. So there are some open pull requests. Where'd it go? Let's see, is it this one? Try whip onboarding. Okay. So if I'm get rebase whip onboard, okay, get checkout staging, get rebase. Oh, that's not good. That's not good at all. Oh, crap. Let me see what's in here. This probably can't update to main. Oh, it can update to main. That's great. Okay, then if it can update to main, I know why we'd have problems with the current version of staging. So I just need to copy over the migration files for this, and I need to manually run the migration down. Okay, I'm going to just copy this over. For the third time! Alright. Oh, whoops. This needs to go into... It needs to go by that name, apparently. Yeah, so I need to go back into this node directory, and I need to probably migrate down, I'm not sure. Let's see, user account grouping. Crap, I don't even know what branch that came from. Dang it. Let me see if I've got a local backup of staging from a week ago. Oddly, I don't. It's weird. I must have deleted it after some time. Okay, I gotta go search for a PR that's closed, that's the old PR for that. Or maybe it's still open. I think the PR is closed. Okay. This one. This one. Yes. Okay, so this, if I can get this branch back, I can copy the migration file from there. So I undid this migration, but somebody else pushed it back on. And so now I've got to grab it so I can get it off. Okay, great. Now let's go down. Let's go down. Let's go down. Let's go... I think that's as far back as we should need to go, but I'm going to go down one more. Yep. All right, now we're going to go back up. Actually, I'm just going to do the... let's see, git checkout staging, git junk push. I'll let him know. Let's see. Pushover staging with main. Please don't bring the draft commits back in. They have DB migrations that will fail because we haven't finished the onboarding API, and my account group changes have been superseded by his. All right, go with the us. I've had to do this a few times now. I think it's because I didn't communicate that we switched back to main last week to prepare for what we're pushing, for what we pushed to prod. My bad. Okay, great. So, if all is well, let me check and see. Hey, what's up, Georgie? How you doing? Can I call you Georgie? Is that an appropriate pronunciation of that? Okay. I'm looking to see. Oh no, did this fail too? Why? 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 I just copied that over. I just did it. Why? All right, let me pull this back. I am so confused. I just fixed this. What is happening? All right, we're going to do this again. What? Oh, whoops. All right, let me check this manually. All right, so we're going to move this again into here as such. Migrate up. It's going to take forever. Is there another commit that these were referenced in or something? I'm gonna manually check the database. Let's just go in. We'll go in over here, I think. I'm gonna bring this over in just a second. Connects migrations. Select star from. All right, here we are. I'm going to make this a little smaller because it's a bit too wide. So sorry you won't be able to read that, but I will, and that's what's important right now. Okay, so this one right here, it should not be there. Okay, you want to know about pair programming. Boy, let me tell you, what you need to know is screen. You need a couple of things. One, you need SSH pub key. So I'd recommend using DigitalOcean. Get your SSH pub key, and then screen dash XRS. Is it RS with a capital? It's capital RS. Awesome. I can show you how this is done. Give me a minute to finish this up, and I will show you. I will show you what you can do. Okay, that's actually just kind of sitting there. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to go into my personal beta server. So you need first thing you need to do. Josh, we might be able to clip this. Oh, let me do this. So, first thing you need to do is you need to figure out what your SSH pub key is. So you can check out the site I just sent you, webinstall.dev/SSH pub key. And that's going to give you this, webby.sh/SSH pub key pipe sh. Now, if you're on Windows, you're going to use curl.exe, and the site is webby.ms rather than webby.sh. And then it's PowerShell is, you'll run it with PowerShell. But anyway, so on Mac and Linux, you do it this way. On Windows, it's ever so slightly different. You can check out that website. You get your public key here, and you can paste this all over the internet. It is a public key, keyword public. This is to give to other people. You go to DigitalOcean, you create your droplet. At some point, it's going to ask you, do you want to log in via password or public key? You absolutely should log in via public key. That makes everything easy. Then you're going to do SSH root at, and then put in the domain of your DigitalOcean VPS, your droplet, or the IP address. So I would do root at, I'm just going to put example.duckdns.org. So you can set it up. You can set up your IP address on DigitalOcean with DuckDNS, and then have your domain name, just like this. And then you would do curl https webinstall.dev/ssh add user pipe to sh. Okay, so you're going to do this. This is on a fresh system. What that's going to do is it's going to create an app user for you. Oh, and you should put you and the other person you want to pair with, you both get your public key. So you both get your public key. You assign that public key to the DigitalOcean droplet. I'll show you how you can do that after the fact as well. But once you do this, then you're going to have a normal user to be able to run with. So then so I'm going to pretend I ran that because I've run it before on this. So my server's name, I have it aliased as beta. So you do app@beta to SSH into the server. Okay, so now I'm in the server. I can have a web server and all that. And once you're in the server, you can put the other person's public key. If you didn't do it in a previous step, you can put it into SSH authorized keys. So you can see here I've got a bunch of my authorized keys that can log into this server. So you just put a comment, put the person's name, you know, Joe Schmo's key, you know, home, PC, whatever. This works on Windows. Okay, you don't have to have Mac or Linux to do this. Windows has SSH. Windows 11 has SSH. Windows 10 has had SSH for years. Okay, so you can run these commands on Windows, Mac, or Linux. But this is the server. I'm in the server. That's why the screen changed colors, because I got into the server. So I log out of the server. It's different color. Log in. Now that's because I set it up that way. I'm not going to go into that right now. But then you run screen-xrs awesome. So it's like a pirate. X marks the spot. R spot. X R spot. Right? Awesome. Now we are in a shared session. So somebody else can do the same thing on their computer across the globe and run that screen command, and they can get in and we're on the same session and we can work together. That is the best. And just work right in Vim, no encumbrances, right on the server. You get the TLS certificate, all that stuff. Now, if you don't want to take the 3 minutes that it takes to learn Vim, because people like to pretend like it's complicated, you have to learn 3 things. You have to learn how to quit, how to save, and how to get to a line. And I'll show you how to do that too. So we'll just go ahead and do that. No, I'll finish my first thought. Okay, so if you can do all that, then you can develop together. VS Code also has a feature for sharing code, but in my experience, it works sometimes, it doesn't other times. This always works, everywhere, for everybody. No problems. Now, the things that you need to know about Vim, so let's say I want to do code.txt. First thing, when you first open it up, it will tell you what to do. Most people won't read. They'll just hit a button on the keyboard. They'll get confused, and they'll just hit a button on the keyboard, and they'll be really confused. So, first thing you need to know is you're going to try to save this, and you're going to hit something like Control S. And that's going to freeze it and make it not respond to anything else. Let's see, is it Control S? I think it's Control S or something like that. Alt S? I don't know. Okay, it's not freezing for me right now, but it'll do that. The way that you get out of that is you press Control Q. And that will make it so that you can type again. So you hit basically a vowel to start typing. So I is insert mode. And then when you want to save it, you hit Escape, W. That's to write. When you want to quit, Escape, Q. So Vim is a cancer. It's a cancer that you want to escape from. It's a colon cancer. It's a colon cancer that you want to escape from. So you Escape, Q. You just want to quit that cancer. You want to write it out. W for write. Q for quit. Escape to escape. Colon for the colon. Escape the cancer. That is Vim. Okay. With that, that's it. Oh, and then you need to know how to get on a specific line. So, if I want to get to a specific line, you just do slash, as in /, as in search. And I want to get over to the AEN, you go there. Boom. And if you want a nice full development environment, webinstall.dev/Vim Essentials. And there you go. You'll be happy as a clam. Now, it's also worth noting that the keys under your right hand will move you up and down and left and right. Or you can use the arrow keys. And you can use a number with that. So you could put 10 and then up and it'll go up 10. 10 down, it'll go 10 down. So that's keys under these 3 keys and then the one this way. Those are the keys that move it, or the arrow keys. And then you can use GG to go to the top, or capital G to go to the bottom, or a specific number like 8G. Whoops, is it 8? Whoops, sorry, hold on. G8? What am I doing? Why am I... Hold on. Sorry. 8 capital G, or 11 capital G. And that will go to a specific line number. That's all you need to know. So, yeah, you got to write that down. But that's all you need to know. And then you are a Vim master. And you can do anything you ever wanted to do in Vim. And you can learn about the advanced stuff. You can learn about the find and replace and the multiple line editing and all that stuff later on. You don't need to know that now. Just the basics. Open it. Escape :Q. Quit the cancer. Control Q if it's frozen. Control Q if you hit Control S, you have to hit Control Q to undo what Control S did. And then escape :W to write. I to get into insert mode. Escape to get out of insert mode. And then arrow keys or these fingers to move around. GG for top, capital G for bottom. 10, capital G to go to line 10. That's it. That's your Vim tutorial as well. So, Josh, I think we could clip that twice over. What happens if you use Control C? I don't think anything happens. Yeah. Oh, look, it gives you a help message. Hit escape :Q and press enter to exit Vim. There you go. If you hit Control C, it gives you a help message. All right, now let's see if that thing was done. That thing takes a long time to run. Okay. Oh. Oh, I see what happened here. Hold on, we got to go down, 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 down. Now I know what happened. Oh, junk. That takes forever to run. All right, so we're going to run this again. This might have been my fault. So I might have tagged the team for no reason. Okay, what are we doing? Get junk push? No, 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 no. No, no, no. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do get junk push. Dang it. I make sure get junk push doesn't run. I just check real quick and see, was I fast enough? Okay, 5C, 6C. Good. 5C, 6C is what's running now. All right, so that should work this time. I'm gonna watch logs over here on the other screen. All right, Startup Builder. I hope that helps. Are you already familiar with Vim? We're gonna take both of those. Josh is my friend and editor, and we're gonna turn that into 2 clips with links to each other. And that will be on the Beyond Code Bootcamp YouTube. So you go to YouTube here, and there is @_Beyond Code. That's where that clip is going to go. So if you need that clip in the future, it's going to be here. Yeah, so DigitalOcean, and this we may need to splice in, Josh. So with DigitalOcean, you want to remember that when you're done with it, if it's not something that you want to keep up all the time, then you just need to delete it once you're done. So, let me get back here. So with DigitalOcean, you're going to want to remember that if you're just using it for that use case, just a limited time, you just want a fresh system, delete it after you're done with it. What I do is I have a few DigitalOcean instances, some for development, some for production. And if I were you, I would just leave one on all the time, and I just pay the $5 a month so I could have for pair programming. As it is, when I need to do pair programming, I do what I just showed you. In fact, for the interview that I talked about in a previous video, I actually set that up for the live portion of the interview, where I just asked him for his key, he gave it to me, and I let him in, and it was a fresh system, and I just took 2 seconds to install the tools. You'll find just about all the developer tools you need. If there are any tools that you need that are not on webinstall.dev, you'll let me know. But all the tools that you need as a developer, they're all here. And you can install everything in a matter of seconds. You got your Vim Essentials, you've got Caddy for your web server. That's automated with Let's Encrypt. Oh, I guess the web server is down in the System Tools section. You got SSH PubKey. All the stuff you need as a modern web developer. It's all here. You got your DuckDNS update script. All the goodies. All right. Let's see if this is finished yet. Because this one, it takes a couple minutes to run. No! What are you talking about? How is it telling me that these are missing? We just got rid of it, did we not? I am so confused. Okay. Onboarding data. Am I going crazy? What is going on here? Okay, let me just go into here directly. And let me just go look at that. Why does it think that this is missing? I'm just so confused. I already have this one here, right? Okay, there is no onboarding data here. Those are old ones. They're not related to this. So why? All right, let me try this again. I am so confused as to what's going on here. Because I had it running before. Already. Oh, I didn't refresh the status page, and the status was out of date. Because our status page is not the most sophisticated in the whole wide world. Okay, good. Alright. The world is fine. Everything's good again. Alright, so what does this mean I can do? Where am I at in my process of what I was intending to do here? Okay, I wanted to get this over into the right place. Now it's in the right place. Okay, good. Now everything's working as it should. Okay, let's see here. Oh, man. Alright, so what I'm going to do is now that I've got this thing deployed, this was the first part of this, now we can move on to the second part for the next hour or so. I think I might need another Mountain Dew to keep me sane. Okay. So we are going to go to the admin. I need to update the caddy file again. I have a typo there. I'll fix that. It says Damin, but it's actually supposed to say admin. Oh, hey. 404 not found. Welcome. What an apt name. You seem so very anonymous. All right, so we're going to rename that. And then the contents of that file we changed. I'm going to change some stuff over here real quick. So we're going to do sudo system restart caddy. And we'll see how that goes for us. I'm probably going to get a complaint in about 2 seconds. Okay. Staging admin portal is now on the staging server. Whoops. Wrong window. We got too many windows open. And I need to double check on some variables real quick. I'm going to have to do that probably in the other screen. Because again, it's something that might contain... Okay. All right. I'm going to have to copy this over. And then I'm going to update some documentation, and then we're going to move on to the next. Just a second. I'm logging into the other server here. Let me just double check some things. So base URL is the API URL. The port server is not a thing. Front end. Wait. Front end is supposed to be the other one too? Okay, noted. Hold on, I need to change a couple of things, and I'm gonna have to change them off screen. Just a moment, just a moment. We're getting there. Okay, source, config. Do I have config open over here already? No, I don't. I just got to change a config file that does have some IDs in it that I don't want to expose publicly. They should be public values, but, you know, just playing it safe. API, server. Let's see. I think all right, I have to run this again. Oh, yay. Y'all are back. Welcome back, everybody. Yeah. Grr, 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 grr. Yeah. Grr, 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 grr. All right. Let's see here. Blockety, blockety. Blockety, blockety. Blockety, blockety. Blockety, blockety. So it looks like we're... I was raided, but not in a good way the other day, and it looks like they are back for more. They're coming at me. So... I'm see if I can go back to YouTube Studio here. See if I can figure out something real quick so we don't have that nonsense from the bots. Let's see, because it's got to be, you know, 100 accounts or something in this bot farm that does that. What you may or may not have seen popping up on the screen. Let's see. Yeah, there they go. There they go. Oh, I see. Playing a little game of cat and mouse. I see. All right, everybody. Huh, that's interesting. They got better. So they are specifically targeting me. Yeah. Well, hey, look. All engagement helps, right? So whether you thumbs up or you thumbs down or you raid with a bunch of nonsense, all of it just tickles the algorithm, right? So I'm only at a gain. I guess you're at no loss. Everybody wins. Oh, it's just... So somebody has control over a bunch of accounts, and for some reason, I don't know why, because this used to happen more often, but then it hasn't happened for months and months. But something's happened, and I think that it personally has to do with maybe something that I said on Twitter or something that I said on Reddit or something. I don't know. I don't know what I would have done that would have... well, actually, there was one dude that was just being a complete jerk, and so I was just throwing it back in his face because he was just really rude. So it could be him if he's got nothing better to do with his time but troll people on YouTube. But this one, this attack that we're seeing right now, it seems like, and I could be wrong, I hope I'm wrong, that'd be great, but it seems like it is a personal attack against me for some reason that I am not aware of. I honestly don't know. Other than it could be the one guy that he was just being an a-hole on in the YouTube comments, and so I was just throwing it back in his face. you know, whatever. So that it's not that none of those accounts are real people. They're all just harvested bot accounts or something. And when it happened previously, I think it was just part of some sort of automated bot. When it happened months ago, close to a year ago. But the fact that, you know, he said there, get better facial hair or something, makes me think that this one is targeted. So I'm probably going to turn off YouTube comments again for a little bit, because apparently this person has a very cheap access to a bunch of accounts, and so me blocking them and marking them as spam isn't doing any harm to them. You know, they don't care. But so one of the things that really sucks about YouTube in particular, because on Twitch, and I'll have to go ahead and turn on slow mode on Twitch real quick, because he did this the other day. He's going to come on Twitch in just a minute and start spamming me on Twitch. So I'm just going to go shields up mode on Twitch. And so that's going to put on slow mode. It shouldn't affect any of you real people. Yeah. But there we go. That's the fun of... It's the fun of the internet. But one of the weird things is that there is no way to do a slow mode or to do anything on YouTube that stops comments from coming through. There used to be a way to do it, but there is not a way to do it anymore, which sucks. There used to be a little checkbox, and so I could just, you know, not have to worry about it. But anyway, we'll just deal with it as it comes up. I put shield mode up on Twitch, and I need to make one other change to the shield mode. Let's see. Let's see. Security and privacy. Is it in here? I don't think it's in there. I think it's in... Where is the... Okay, shield mode is on. But let me see the settings for shield mode. Okay, here we go. Shield mode settings. Alright, so shield mode, we're turning on, you have to be a follower in order to chat. Slow mode is on. And we're just going to set that to a reasonable amount of time. And let's see. Everybody has to be verified account. And then let me see what else here. Yeah. Let me see when we get rid of these spam accounts. And there was one other thing. If I can find it. I don't know where the setting went. Oh, terms and... There we go. Oops. Okay. All right, excellent. See, there they go. Now they're back on there we go. Okay, well. All right, moving on. All right, I'm going to take one more minute to just do something else for YouTube. Checking the updated documentation on YouTube to see if they've got something else. All right. From the top right, click Edit. They don't have that button anymore. We are not bots. We are Legion. All right. Let's see here. From the top right, click Edit. There is no edit. Moderation activity will be shown. I don't really care about that. What is going on? Yeah, in the YouTube help, it says that there's a way. It shows options that aren't actually in the chat. Let's see. This isn't here. Yeah, like I was saying, it's just a network of bots that somebody has control over that just wants to, just wants to goof. And I am high enough in their esteem that of all the people on the internet, they chose me personally. All right, let's go back to settings, back to community. All right. Yeah, there's nothing I can do for YouTube. YouTube sucks when it comes to chat. They just don't have any moderation tools. So, I will just carry on here. Sorry about that, folks. I know that was a long time of just nothingness, but happens. All right. So, back to where we were. I had updated the config, and then I was pushing this. And let me check and see. I don't remember if I actually pushed it before the mob came or not. So I'm going to check. Yes, Legion. I get it. All right. Okay, I'm going to refresh status over on the other screen here and see if I already deployed this or not. Okay, this one was, okay, a few minutes ago. I'm going to check over on my other screen to see if if everything deployed correctly, since I got a little bit scattered there. Let's see. Okay. gosh. All right, so I'm just checking over here. Okay. Going into, where was it? All right. So, all right, config looks good. So deploy went well. How do they do that? I don't know. I'm guessing that they just have harvested accounts, either that could have created over a period of years, or that come from maybe the LastPass leak or something like that. I don't know whether or not they'd be using an API to do it, because it seems like that would be what makes it easiest to do this, rather than having a bunch of browser tabs open and then, you know, going in and changing each of the names to something that's offensive, and then, you know, and then having to input in on this and this and that. But it could be because if you have the skills to build the API tools, you could probably be doing better things with your time that are going to make you more money. I mean, there is some money in creating stuff like this. Back in the days, there was a tool called Sub7, and I think that the guy who created it probably made a good amount of money off of it. So for hacking tools and spamming tools, there is money in it. But I think that if you were fairly proficient at that stuff, you'd probably make more money doing something else. So could be either way. They might chime in. Maybe they'll tell us. Well, even if you've got the skills to configure a headless browser and all that, you know, in a world where senior engineers are making in the range of 160, 180, 200, 220, 250, and where junior engineers are making in the realm of 80, 100, 120, if you have the skills to be able to do sorts of things and automate processes, and, you know, you've got that stuff down, it's just not very... There we go. You should be able to hear me again. Yeah. Well, I will. The new USB hub should arrive tomorrow, so hopefully, hopefully we will not have this problem after tomorrow. But I was just saying, good game, good game. Okay. Well, I could I could ask ChatGPT, but ChatGPT won't know because what it'll have is it'll have the old help pages from a couple years ago. All right, so we restarted. Everything should be good. All right, I'm going to check something over on the other screen again. Sorry for so much on the other screen today, but that's just how it is sometimes. Okay, I do want to put something in place to be able to tell which server I'm on. So what I'm going to do is in the dist folder here, I'm just going to create a version file, and I'm going to call this, I'm just going to put in here 1.1, and then I'm going to go and see if everything is deployed. Yeah, okay, cool. So I'll bring this over. All right, actually I won't bring that over. But yeah, it's deployed. So everything's deployed, everything's good. So I think we can wrap up that task of itself for now, and then I'll be able to replicate this in other places. So all I need to do now is I just need to update the documentation on this so that it's a little bit more clear. So we're going to open up the source sample config. Wait, am I in the right place? Vim. So we're going to check out -b doc update. Let's see. Sample config. All right. So I'm going to take this. Well, I guess I'll take the whole thing. I'm going to bring it into the README. And just change that to shell rather than bash. And this is API base URL. And then I don't know what this one is about. I'm just getting rid of that. All right, customer facing app. And then this is going to be PandaDoc registered. Let's see. Redirect. Oh, wait, I don't know what this is for, actually. Let me check this out. Let me see if I can figure out what this one's about. Because we don't have too many places where we have redirects set up. I'm just going to look at the code and see if I can determine. So, fingers crossed that person is now off their work break and has to go do something more, well, probably not as productive as ruining my day, because, I mean, that's a pretty accomplished task, but hopefully they're off their break and back to doing their normal stuff. We'll see what happens. Okay, so we got the redirect right in here, routes. So let's go take a look in routes real quick and take a look at this redirect that I think this is actually set up on our side. At first, I thought it was what needs to be registered. Ah, yes. Okay. Exchange OAuth code. So I just want to dig a little bit deeper to verify if this is. If we can, what I want to know is, can we change this at any time? Is it just a redirect on our end, or is it a redirect that we have to register? That's what I want to be able to document here. Okay, OAuth. Exchange OAuth code. So we're going to get a query code. And it's going to have all this token information, and we're going to update it, and success is going to be true. Okay, great. So this is going to be OAuth redirect as registered with PandaDoc. Let's see. All right, and we're exchanging the code. Good. All right, so this is also secure. There were a couple of routes at one point that we didn't validate any checksums on. But now we are. I think all of those are done away with. And then HubSpot domain. Wait, knowledge URL. Interesting. Oh, right. Hold on. Which one is this? Let me go check. I gotta check on the other screen here to see what is that actual URL. I was not even aware of this microservice. Learn something new every day. I will see if I can figure out where that is real quick. There's actually a number of things that I need to check out. Because I'm learning that there are some things that I did not know existed. I thought I knew the entirety of our system, but I do not know the entirety of our system because I am learning new things right now. Huh. Looking at some stuff on the other screen, just kind of exploring some domains that I found that we still have records for. I don't think that they're in use. Let's see. Alrighty. All right, so I'm just going to push this change up. And let me see. Oh, what was this one? ID of domain. Domain ID. All right, let's make this JSON 5. So the job was well over, not even in the ballpark of 100K. It was well over 100K. And I did not get it. So I talked about that a little earlier in the stream, but they had a very streamlined process and it was very low touch. And so the project that I was very proud of, I don't think that human eyes spent very much time on it at all. I think that actually ended up being just a pass-fail through an automated process, which I was suspecting that it wouldn't be because the price tag on the job was so great. I was expecting that they were going to do a little bit more personal review rather than just an automated process, but it really was just an automated screening. I could have done the bare minimum and made something that could pass their test suite, and it would have been, I would have passed that part. The pair programming interview, I was expecting it to be pair programming because they called it a pair programming. And I thought, oh, this is great. Normally when people say pair programming, or at least when I'm familiar with it, usually it's on site and usually you're actually going through a real problem. They were kind of going through a real problem, but it was a problem that they understood that I didn't understand. And when they explained it to me, I actually understood it inverted. So it was a matter of every time X happens, do Y, versus every time that Y needs to happen, do X. That doesn't sound any different at all. But it was something like that where if you misunderstood it, you could do exactly the opposite thing. And to try to explain it either way, they sound kind of similar. And I was stumbling a little bit, just like I did in that previous video. I was stumbling a little bit over my mastery of the APIs because it's been a while. And so I don't think that they actually looked at any of my projects. I didn't really have the kind of discussion I was expecting to have around Go architecture and things like that. It was very much a low touch pass-fail process. I would describe it as being very sterile. And I think that for what they're trying to do, there's a video that I ought to pull up. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. That kind of explains this and why this is actually not a bad way to go. I think I put it on here somewhere. Ars Technica, Two Hard Things, Unix Philosophy. Maybe I don't have it in here. No, I don't have it as one of the programming talks, but there's a talk about basically when you're in a market where you're hard pressed to find what you want. So a housing market, dating market, job market. One of the things that you can do is go through the first 1/3 to 1/2 of the candidates. So just view 1/2 of the houses that are going to be on the market that month. If you want to buy within that month or two, just get an estimate of how many houses are going to be on the market and visit somewhere between 1/3 and 1/2 of them. And then the next house that you step into that meets your criteria and is as good as or better than the houses that you've looked at so far, buy it immediately. And the same works with dating. The same works with hiring. If you know how many candidates you've collected and you want to find someone who is good enough, just go through half of your candidates, throw them away, and then with the next half, the next person that you interview that meets the criteria of the technical and cultural fit that you're looking for, hire them. And so I got the sense that they were taking a very pragmatic approach like that, which is a good approach. It's just not what I was expecting, and it's not something that I personally am going to do well at. I do better when we can actually have a conversation around architecture and philosophy and the ideas of how to write the code and yada, yada, yada. When it's just okay, solve this problem, and if you solve it the way that we expect you to solve it, so one problem having, okay, here's actual criteria, and then another problem being very open-ended, and you solve it the way we want you to solve it, or you don't. It is a good process. It's not a process that I am well equipped for. So that didn't end up happening. Okay, what am I doing? I keep on switching back and forth here. All right, so this one's done. All I needed to do was push this, and I didn't push it yet. I was going to commit it. Then you got me ranting again. Brrr. Okay, let me update config.js, update source, not update, config example. There we go. Okay. Is there a repo for the code? All right, before I ask a stupid question that I could answer myself, let me go check our repos here. And maybe we have, I think I would have noticed it, but sometimes you look at the same list of 20 repos every day. Okay, I don't see it. Okay, so it's not just me. Okay. All right, and there are some get checkout name, checkout dash b hotfix. I know exactly what this is. I thought that this was actually already fixed. Oops. All right, so REST Web API or what? Oh, sorry. It looks like some of the comments haven't been coming through because of when we were having the big blah. I hit some settings that I did not mean to hit. All right. What do you mean there's nothing to compare? Oh, whoops. Helps. There we go. Okay. I'll have to go look through some routing fixes here in a bit. Whoops. I realized I just messaged the wrong person about something. For some reason, Slack... Ah, that's why. So Slack actually prefers a person's first name to their username. So, for example, I go by AJ, but if my full name is used and someone were to type AJ, well, this doesn't make for a good use case because no name starts with AJ. But, okay. So, for example, let's say, so Bob and Robert, right? So you type in BO and it should select Bob as the username, but instead it selects the person whose first name is Bob who goes by Ducky. And then the person who's Robert, they sort last. So I would expect it to sort by username since that's literally what it selects, but it doesn't. Oh, this is a good one. Original Link's Awakening Ballad of the Thief Fish. Alright. I so wish it was just the USB cable messed up on this mic. Well, I guess it doesn't matter either way. I still bought the USB hubs. I still replaced the cable. I still might replace the mic. Okay. I think there's something else I need to change too. So git checkout. Oh, what are the branches that I've got? I need to check out the doc update branch. And I also need to put in here, where's the npm CI? Legacy peer deps. Hopefully I remember to take that out. Okay. Web server root folder builds to all right. It's not what I was expected to spending most of the time here, but it's got to be done sooner or later. And yeah, we really do need to have the updated deployment process. Okay, doc, misc notes. Okay. Would somebody mind just sending in a test comment, say, I love pizza, for example. I just want to make sure that comments are coming through on YouTube. So if you're on YouTube, if you're on Twitch, comments should come through just fine. And I think I can even take shield mode off now. Okay. Oh, Startup Builder. So, just as part of the normal rules of the channel, I keep it family friendly as much as I can. And occasionally something slips here or there, but so comments with even that are not necessarily politically offensive, but that are just crude, will also be blocked. So I'm not personally offended or anything by your comment there, but if you want that comment to go through, it's just got to be a little, just a touch more family friendly is all. All right. All right. And just a quick reminder, everybody. I'm actually kind of surprised this hasn't come up in a while. Oh, it did actually. It did just come up, but I'm going to pull it up again. So if you like what we're doing here together, or like what I'm doing and what you're doing separately, because we're not really together, but you know, if you like what you like, you get more of what you like. If you like what you like, you get more of what you like. Blah. So consider a like, sub, follow if you want to. Not trying to tell you how to live your life unless we're talking about code, in which case I'm definitely trying to tell you how to live your life. But there's also links that pop up in the chat from time to time you may be interested in as well. Okay. Hey, thanks. Yeah, way to make it impossible for me to say that, oiks. Oiks. I'm gonna call you Wolf. Oik, Wolf. I think oiks is Albanian for wolf. It rings a bell. It might not be. Oik. Hold on. Whoops. Wolf to Albanian. Oik. There it is. Oik. So that combination of vowels with an X, oik is the best I can do. So I'm just going to call you Wolf. Welcome, Wolf. All right. So we got that one up. I need to go ahead and put this one over here. Some doc updates. Oh, isn't this one? I got too many of these terminals open right now. ANSI to HTML. I see. That's actually not a bad idea. So I got a talking to about this. So there were some ANSI codes that were going out into the logs but it was mostly for stuff that wasn't used. The logs weren't relevant anymore. And I just took, I think there was one left that still had it, some coloring, and so I just took that out. And then I got to talking to about it because it broke somebody's workflow, you know? Because the logs, as part of this tool, they look at the logs and it converts the ANSI to HTML, and so they lost their highlighting. Now, I think if I was going to work on this more, I'd say, look, let's just look for keywords and just highlight the keywords or something. I don't know. But ANSI, putting ANSI escape sequences in the database and pulling them back out again, just kind of... All right. I wonder if we went whole hog on this. What if we did? What if we did npm audit fix -- force -- legacy peer deps? I'll be interested to see what happens. My expectation is it'll probably break terribly. I just want to see. Wait. Oh, did I put that into this one by mistake? I did. I'll just change the title of this. Just so that if something goes wrong and somebody says, oh, well, what was done recently? All right, cool. So we'll just go ahead and merge these in and call it good. Just make sure. Rebase main. What? What do you mean I have unstaged changes? Oh, right. Because I was going to run npm run build, not rsync afterwards. Yeah, that's kind of what I expected. It's absolutely 100% totally broken. All right. We won't worry about that right now. Okay. Okay. So, are we good to leave now? Can we go home now? Alright, I can get out of beta. We don't need to be in beta. I think I can get out of here. I think I can get out of here. Okay, there we go. That wasn't useful for anything. Okay, cool. All right, so I didn't get to the Go code, but we fixed a few security vulnerabilities. One that I consider to be a little bit higher priority than the others. And so now our admin portal is deployed. And now it's deployed in the right place because now we have our dev staging portal separated from our production portal, which doesn't mean a whole lot, but it means a little bit. So, great. Toot, toot, toot. You know, actually, I will just go ahead and pull this in. I was going to say, well, I'll wait because we're probably going to get some more reports about stuff that's wrong with that, but we can make another PR. Turns out, we're not going to run out of PRs. And if you don't believe me, check this out. Here, we're already up to 30. Yeah. 39. We're already up to 39, and we haven't run out yet. And on the other one, we're up to something like 700, and we still haven't run out. So I'm pretty sure we don't run out of PRs. So I can just close that right out. And then let me go in here and just clean up those extra branches real quick. So let me just go view all branches. And then we can just delete, 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 delete. That one we can delete too. And then I think we can go ahead and delete this one. I do want to keep this documentation around for now, at least. So let me edit this so that this goes to main, and fingers crossed, it'll go off of main in a way that makes sense. And it looks like it did. Great. Okay. So let's just go ahead and delete that branch as well. I don't know where that branch list went. So I'm guessing most of these other ones probably aren't needed. But I'll go ahead and clean it up locally here as well. But I'm going to clean up the quick and easy way. I'm going to go into my git config. Whoops. I'm going to copy the URL, even though it's probably already in my history. I'm back up. Rumrough. Well, I don't want to completely rumrough. I actually do want this file to be saved, but whoops. There. Easy way to delete all the branches. And then I can just move this config back into the appropriate place. And there we are. Cool beans. All right. Let me see what else we need to do. Just making some notes here on my other screen. Okay, cool. Now I got to think of what to do next. I don't know if I have much time because it's about dinner time. If I get started on something else, I won't be able to finish it most likely. Let's try one thing. I've got something in mind, famous last words. I don't think it's going to take too long. I just need to add a query to be able to add an enum to a database. So let me get out of here, and that's in Go. And that, that's exciting. So let's just get out of all of these. Okay. Get out of this one too. Get out of this one over here on this screen. I'm just going to close out all of my terminals. Get a nice clean reset. Back to fresh. And then open up a new one. So the V2 API I started building in Go. Because the V1 API, I am not strong enough. I'm just not strong enough. Oh. Just don't have it in me as a person. I've done so much. So much. And I made some significant progress. All of our authentication now happens through the same set of routes. I'm actually really, really close to being done with that. That's something that will take even less time to finish. Alright, chat. Should I finish one of the final route migrations, or should I work on this database enum thing in the 20 minutes that I have? Vote! Go now! I have to kind of get my bearings over here. First of all, okay, update.diff. Production. Oh no! Oh no! There's a production branch. You know what that means? There's a production branch and it's been a year since I last messed with this. So that means that I have no idea what state this is in. That's what that means. Ah, crap. Okay. I will show you. I can get pretty quickly to where what I need is. So if we go to ledger up. Nope, that's absolutely not what I was looking for. Let me try that one again. Okay, here we go. So, in Postgres, you can have enums. And enums they probably just live in memory. I imagine that you're supposed to create probably in the realms of dozens of them, not in the realms of thousands of them. We will probably be in the realm of hundreds, because each document type has a bunch of different subtypes. So these represent types of records. So there's lots of different PDFs that somebody might sign as a part of establishing their business and yada yada. And that's what this is mostly based around. So if they're an investor, they might be doing some equity stuff. They might issue equity. They might purchase equity. They might, if they're an employee, they might get an option for equity to exercise it. What else? Oh, and I went, oh, that's the call for dinner, isn't it? Oh, no, it's not. That's not the call for dinner. Okay. I still got time. and whatnot. Well, the thing is, we want to reject most of the record types, or at least we have wanted to reject most of the record types from coming into the V2 API, because many of them would, if we just do an automatic push, we probably have, maybe we're at the point almost where we could do exclusionary types, but for a long time we were still adding types, and a bunch of them are useful and a bunch of them are just intermediaries. So basically part of the system is used to put things in a place that aren't final yet. They're not ready for anybody. They're not either not ready for action to be taken on them, or the action that needs to be taken in order for the process to be complete just hasn't happened. And so we only want to have these records of documents, basically links to PDFs, not the PDFs themselves. We only want those to come through when something important happens. But we don't want to have to do a database migration every time we have a new batch of, oh, okay, these documents should now be part of the permanent storage. And so what I need to do is just figure out how to add something, and I probably put it in here. But let's see. No, I don't have a comment for it in here. Well, that's too bad. Just one second. I saw a message here I need to take a look at. Well, I don't need to take a look at this one. I just want to take a look at this one. Okay. That's somebody tagged me on something that's not relevant to me, actually. Okay, so anyway, that's what I need to look up. I'm just going to check in here for enum. And I'm going to go check and see. So Postgres, add enum. That's what we're going to do. You know, this person is not wrong. User 80168 is not wrong. No, what am I doing on Stack Overflow? I should look at the official documentation. I was just looking at it because I don't know why. Because it popped up first in search. But Stack Overflow is not helpful when you can read the official documentation. I wish there was a way to prioritize official documentation in search. I'm going to tweet at somebody about that real quick. All right. At Brave Search, Pipe Dream. What if the official documentation on a subject, i.e. Postgres, MySQL, Node, etc., came up first in results rather than old, outdated Stack Overflow posts and such? That don't even work or have good answers. Could it be made so? Because that would be nice if it just took me to the documentation. Now, granted, the documentation is not always correct. That there are cases, or the documentation is missing stuff. Okay, ordering enum types. Uh-oh. Oh, I don't want that. So basically they have a hidden ID that is their order number. Create type holidays. Insert into... Oh, happiness. Create type happiness. Alright, so in this case, the documentation fails. The documentation is the section on enumerated types and doesn't tell you how to update an enumerated type. Maybe this one will. Alter type. Alter type, add value if not exists, before, after, whatever other value. Alright, so here's what we're doing. This is for you, Wolf. I don't know which branch this should go in. July 25th. Oops. Dang it. How did production get ahead of... Oh no, what have I done? What have I done? All right. I think what I was doing was I wanted to wait to put things on main until they were actually in a more usable state, but then something happened and we just put it in production. Let me go check the PRs on this real quick. So what I am doing, by the way, well, we'll see the Go code in just a minute. It does create a Go enum, well, the Go brand of enum, but it is not in of itself a Go enum that I'm working with. Let me check out build and see what that's doing. So this makes it sound like, if I'm looking at this correctly, I don't know why staging is ahead. But we're going to go off of staging here. And we're going to do enum crud. As in create, read, update, destroy. Not as in junk. Alright. So we have... there's a special tool that I'm using. Let me see if I can figure out where it is. It's called SQL C. And so I can create queries in SQL, the way that we actually want to create them. and just annotate them like this with a comment, and it turns that into Go code. That's an automated process, and I kind of like that. It does violate some clean architecture principles of tying the architecture directly to the database, but I think it's worth it. We'll see, but I think it's worth it because you're pretty much never going to change your database. And if you need to change your database, if you actually need to change your database because you need to, you're doing pretty well. You've got some money in the bank. And if you're using Postgres, then you can actually swap out to a lot of other databases as well because they all use the Postgres driver. So, Redshift and I think Snowflake as well. I could be wrong about that. Don't quote me on that. But a bunch of the high availability databases, they use the Postgres adapter. So migrating to them from Postgres is not a problem. Postgres is considered to be a production database. Okay, so what I need to do is make some new queries, but this one's going to be a record types.sql. I'm going to paste that in there. I'm going to go back here and I'm going to see what is returning. Exec. There we go. That's what I wanted. By the way, Shift P in Vim will paste above rather than below. That's how I did that. And then add record type. Just make sure, I was looking at the migrations here. That's what we called it, right? Record type. Create record type as enum. So we can just do alter type record type, add, and then I think we just do $1 if, oh, whoops. So this is the thing that gets me sometimes. This is why I like to have metasyntactic variables that are either foo or name. Here it's lowercase, which is good. All right, before or after, and I'm just going to say don't worry about it. I don't think that we're going to depend on the order. So I think that this should work. I'll show you the code this generates too. Well, we should generate it in just a second. We may have one problem with this, is that we are kind of updating an identifier or updating I forget what the difference is between identifier and value. So you can escape values, but I don't think you can escape identifiers. And so I might have to drop down into a raw SQL query and not use, I mean, that was a raw SQL query, but I may not be able to use the auto build tool for this. I might have to hard code it into the code, because see here, values, these are all values. But this insert into ledger is an identifier. And these are values. And actually, I'm not sure if these are considered values or identifiers. I think they actually are considered identifiers. And then these are values. Because I think I put double quotes around ledger, and that would be appropriate. That would be more appropriate. So add value if not exists. So I think this should work, actually. Just link to the documentation on this. And do I have... How am I doing comments in the other ones? It doesn't matter where the comments are? Okay, good. That one was a weird one. Alright. So if I rerun, and it's been a while, I think I've got the latest version of Go, or pretty close to it. Let's see. What happens if I do Webby version? Do I have that implemented yet? Hey, I've got that implemented. I think this was thanks to Jojo Byte. I think he was the one that brought that about. And then I did some editing to it, but he was the one that made it real. All right. Okay. So I'm just going to look and see what version of Go we're at. Okay. Uh-oh. It looks like a bunch of beta releases just got put out by mistake. Oh, snap. We're up to version 20 on... Is that true? Alright, let's get the latest Go. Well, let's not yet. Let's not yet. Let's forbear. Because that'll take several minutes. So, I think if I just run Go generate, I think that should run the SQL-C. I probably should check the README on this one. Let's go check the README while that's doing its thing. Where did I put this at? I'm going to look up that talk I referenced earlier as well. All right, hold on. Oh. Okay, wrong thing. I was looking for something, I couldn't find it. Okay, let me go back here. I'm going to look at the README and see if I say in here. Hopefully I do. Alright, so we need to install Go. We go to the repo. We generate... Oh, I didn't put mod vendor, but I don't think that's necessary anymore. And then we update the SQL-C. Okay, so that needs to be run independently, it looks like. And, of course, we got a whole bunch of errors. And I'm not surprised on this one. So I don't think that I'm going to be able to use the SQL-C generator on this. Because I believe that this, what would go here is technically an identifier, not a value, and so it can't be escaped. So even though it says add value if not exists, it's technically an identifier, not a value. And that's what I was fearing, because with an enum, I think that enums don't have values in the same way. So that's not what we would do. So what we'd have to do instead is just manually do this. If we take a look at the output, so this creates a, is it under internal? Let me just take a look at the queries again. Again, it's been a while since I've been in here. It's been half a year. So I don't remember the state of where things are. But if we look for get ledger record, so get ledger, and that's what it, I opened that file and closed it so quickly, you might not have seen, but that's what the generated name of this query is going to be. So this is going to be the format, essentially. So we could take one of these queries and we could just copy this verbatim and use similar use a similar pattern. So yeah, was this create ledger record? So if I'm just going to copy this, and then we'll have a they can't generate everything. I wonder if they have a solution for this. I'm going to go check on SQLC's GitHub issues, because somebody may have mentioned this and they may have a way to get around it. In fact, I think I know what that way is, because I kind of remember going through this before with the ULIDs. It is. Yes, Farm Tigerland. It is 6:30. Or Farmland Tiger, sorry. Farm Tigerland. Alter enum. Let's see if they've got anything here. It changes the data type of the field struct. Okay, that's not exactly what I'm looking for. Yeah, see how this is single quotes in the SQL? That's because it is an identifier. Oh, that's the docs. I've already taken a look at those. Wait, what is this? Oh, interesting. That's interesting. So this guy's actually wrong, I think. Add value second after first. Oh, wait. Add value third before last. Got it. Yes, that is... No, he's right. Sorry, I was reading it wrong. My bad. Okay, so it doesn't appear to be an open issue about this. And that does make me a little bit weary. Then maybe I shouldn't use enums. Maybe that was a bad choice, and because the tooling doesn't support it well enough. Okay. Identifier. How to, what do I want, a template identifier? Yes. That's different. All right, I'm going to try looking at this again. Database tools always suck. They always do. Let me try updating to the latest release. It's probably not going to help. And I need to get going for dinner, so there's not much more I can do here. Okay, well, sorry to kind of leave things in a state of trying to get back on track and not actually having a good plan for how to do it or not. I don't know. Didn't really make much progress here. I do want to try. Let's see, full document. I want to see if they just say anything about enums. He's probably going to tell me that's not the right. I'm gonna try with a bug report maybe. I don't know. Feature request. Bug report, feature request. Oh, I don't know what version I'm on though. Dang it, I have to. In order to do the bug report, I need to update the version first. Let's see. What are we at here? Tools. What is? Let me look. Go.mod. SQL C. 1.13. Oh, 1.16. Okay, got it. So let's try go get. Let me just copy this out actually real quick. Go get. And I need to find SQL C again. Ah, so many dependencies. Let's see what happens. Uh-oh. Oh no. I remember a problem with this too. This downloads a whole bunch of stuff that's not needed, and then I have to run something else to clean it up. Ah, crap. This is probably a bad choice. It's there's too much complexity. Yeah. Alright, let's try this. We're going to a new chicken restaurant tonight. It's Friday night. Chicken restaurant night. Well, not every Friday night. This just has way too many dependencies. I hate it when this happens. And I gave a talk and I described how to get around this. But essentially what happens is people put test code and example code in their repository. And then the test code and the example code starts requiring everything under the sun in order for the package to be used. And what you need to do is you just need to run go mod init in those folders with my wife and my children's. I got a wife and chillins, man. Chillins. Okay. Let's see if generate can run now. My guess is that it won't, and then I'll file the bug report, and then he'll tell me we're not going to support that, you're stupid. And the reason he's going to tell me I'm stupid is because if it's an enum, you shouldn't be adding things to it programmatically. You should be, if you want to do that, you should use a table instead. And then I'm going to say, okay, you're right. Okay. I made a wrong choice, but that doesn't make me bad. Okay, I guess the database schema is not really important. I mean, I guess it is important. Hold on, let me go to the migration real quick and say that's to what? Not a big deal. Okay, this is just there's too many URLs here. This is not. Look, it's very simple. It's very simple. This having so much information is overcomplicating this. Hold on. SQL. Migrations. What is this? Okay. All right, yeah. Okay. SQL C. Okay, there we go. I tried to construct a query to add an enum to the database, and it failed. I wonder if there's a way, there probably is, to tell it to allow me to write my own custom file in there. Ah. Over in Korea, people used to have chickens like pizza order in the house. Yeah, we're going to go out. We could order chicken to be delivered, but we're going to go out. Because that's what we do on Fridays. Because it's what we do. Say to Postgres enum. All right. So I wonder if there's a way to escape out of the system. This is the thing where these things, they always go south really quickly. Any database system, it always, or code wrapper system, it always seems like, oh, this code gen's going to be great. How could it possibly go wrong? It's going to do everything right. And then the moment that you try to do anything that's not the Hello World example, it's just headache after headache, and I may very well just give up on this idea. But maybe there's a way to eject. Anyway, what was I going to do earlier? I got to get off. We're going to find somebody to raid, and I got to get off. If I wait, it's already past 6:30. If I wait until my wife gives me a call, I'm going to be in trouble. So, let's see who's on. Somebody I normally do is just chatting. Hey, here's probably a cool guy to follow. I don't know if I've actually watched him yet, but I follow him on Twitter. I don't remember how. But we're gonna raid Rock's Codes, okay? So here we go. Raid is created. I won't be sticking around, but y'all have a good time, okay? Thanks for tuning in. Like, sub, follow if you want to, and I'll catch you later. Adios.